Right. So getting to the point on how to actually get to 20 to 50K per month within 6 months, possibly in the next 2 or 3 months. Right. For that, we need to have a clear set plan. Is it 20K per month, 30K per month, 40K? What is it that you actually want to get to? Right. According to that, what we're going to do is reverse engineer on what exactly what we need to sell and how much of it we need to sell. What are the numbers, right? See, the 20 to 50K per month seems daunting. Like, how the hell do you get there, right? It's just a numbers game. We all know that. So, what do you actually do first of all? Step one. Do you want a more of a lifestyle business, or do you want to be the industry legend, right? You want to be the best ever. How much time do you actually want to put in, right? That's exactly what we do for people, as in we understand what your personal expectations are, and according to that, then we make an exact step-by-step plan for you to follow every single day. Now, once you've decided that, how much time you want to allocate with the other things, the other commitments that you have, like family and all that stuff. Now, the way I've kind of positioned myself is that, look, I'm not just a coaching program where you watch a bunch of videos and figure things out yourself. I truly want to understand you and you as a person, right? That's why I'm at the moment I'm not focusing too much on just getting as many people as possible. The people that I am bringing in are very selective, as in I want to make sure that I have, for now, just now, I have some people, but I focus so much on them that my backend systems, the delivery is on point, so that I can just go ham on the actual selling and actually bringing people in the program. So what I mean by that is, like, these are my personal expectations of how I want to take things forward for this, like, the next 2 3 months, right? What are yours? Like, how do you want to take things, right? Not the two, three, four, five sales that you are making a month, right? With your current offer, if it's low, mid ticket, right? It doesn't mean you can scale that to 20 to 50K per month, especially with ease and predictability, right? So what you need to do is be incredibly clear with your offer. It needs to be cold friendly, as in a 6-year-old should understand it. And what I mean by that is what you need to do, and just getting to the nitty gritty. How do you actually make a proper cold friendly offer? You go to your avatar. It needs to be just one person, like one sort of person, right? Ask 30 of those people. 30 is a number that you can take, get the data, and project it onto the rest of the avatar for a minimum viable product to actually go out into the market and possibly sell to, right? So step one, let's stick to this, right? So 30 people, you will ask their exact pains, right? In one column, you will list out all the pains. Then you will highlight the buzzwords, the common buzzwords that they're giving you, such as, for my niche, was stress, tension, burnout, procrastination, bad habits, lack of time management. Another quick tip is, what you can do is go inside your niche, search up on YouTube, and look at all the most popular videos on YouTube, right? The keywords that you see are most in common, you can use that exact wording for your offer, right? So that you know that's proven to actually attract people to click on other people's videos, so you can use the same wording for your offer creation, right? And then once you have all their pains, again, you need to know all their desires, like where they actually want to get to, right? So what is it for them, like what actually attracts them, what is it that they actually want, right? For your particular niche that you're in, right? And this is the most important now. Like, the last column should be how you want to position yourself. How are you going to position yourself? Are you just going to be offering the same thing as everyone else? Because then you'll just be commoditized, and you won't have much value in your offer, and you can't charge high ticket, right? So you need to position yourself in a completely different way. Like, what's your different twist at it? Like, look at it as in, like, Instagram, Facebook, all these things, they're top dogs. Like, no platform can actually compete with them. But LinkedIn came in, just took its own spin. So when you think of, like, business platforms, you think of LinkedIn. So it took its own position, like its own spin, and took it as its own kind of sub niche, right? So what is your kind of spin with what you're offering, right? You can't be offering the same thing. That doesn't make your offer, like, really cold friendly and desirable, right? So that's one thing. What we do is, number one is changing and tweaking your offer in a way where it's highly desirable, right? And according to, like, what I said before, what your expectations are with your business and how much attention and time you actually want to put to it, and according to your offer, what you need to do is then decide on what the most easy and profitable way of scaling, as in the client acquisition system, would be for your offer and your personal expectations, right? So the main methods, the easiest ones that you can get into straight away, is setting a cold outbound system, right? Sending 2 to 300 outbound DMs every single day, right? Volume is key. volume is key. My mentor was telling us a story, like as in one of his mentors was doing around like 80 million a year or something like that. When he was saying that when he started, he was sending out like 200 flyers a month to get like one client or two clients maybe. And his friend, who was in the exact same industry with the same niche, everything, right? He was sending out 80,000 flyers every month, and he was doubling his business every month, something like that, right? Something crazy. And what the story was that it's all about volume and consistent volume that gives you data, right? So what you need to do is send out those cold DMs every single day, right? And what you need to be very good at is finding pools of people where you think your potential clients or that niche that you initially did that market research on is hanging out, right? When you find those, what you need to do is kind of do 1 or 2 week experiments. Okay, this is the amount of messages I've sent, this is how many replies I got. Like, track everything, numbers. Like, if you don't, like, you're not gonna fly an airplane just directionless, just feeling your way through it, right? You need to track everything, right? That's how you stay level-headed and actually make some sort of progress, right? So you need to see, okay, this many replies. Okay, if I do on, let's say for example, right, a specific group, right? Say if you're a health coach, right, a health group, or a sub niche group like Slim Fast or whatever, right? Those groups, you need to go in and start sending out those DMs and see what data you're getting, what sort of people you're getting on the call. So when you actually get people on the call, you need to see, okay, how many actually had the intent for me to actually pitch something to them, right? So the discrepancy would tell you, okay, this niche, or the group that I'm using, or whatever marketing channel I'm using, is efficient for my offer or not, is it scalable or not, right? So you test out different things. Second method you could use is cold email. Now what you need to do is, again, volume is key. If you send out 1,000 cold emails every single day, there's no way you won't actually book calls. But obviously they need to be like optimized with what you have to offer, and there need to be something where people will actually want to click on the Calendly link and actually book the call, right? So what you need to do is use a couple of AI tools that you could potentially personalize at scale, right? There's many things that you can use, but make sure you increase your chances of the cold email being opened by using something like combo prospecting, as in where you actually source those leads. You want to get your VA, or maybe even do it yourself, to actually like all their posts, or like comment on their posts, so to get further their attention than you would have before by just sending a cold email. Because like there's so many people trying to pitch through cold email, the way you're going to separate is combo prospecting, as in maybe even cold call them, leave them a voicemail, like a combo, right? Or cold email, like their posts, and call them as well possibly, or leave a voicemail. So like it catches their attention, especially with a cold friendly offer. Like there's no chance they won't actually book a call with you. So imagine you're doing 1,000 every day, you will 100% get the meetings that you want. Let's say for example your goal is 20K per month, right? When you have a solid cold friendly offer, you know what your niche desires, right? You can ask them as well, like, okay, will you pay 5,000 for this, blah blah blah, and you test it out, right? And then according to that, you need to know your numbers. Okay, if I have just, let's say, 40 calls a month, let's say some of them are no shows, I will have this many closes, and 100%, like the numbers say, that if I have this many calls and I bring this many qualified people on the call, I will get to 20K per month. It's just a numbers game, right? Now, the last method you can use is something called the IG growth funnel. So Instagram is an incredibly powerful tool. We all know that. But what you need to do is, again, step number one, have a cold, friendly offer. Display that on your bio, the Instagram bio, and say who you help, how you help them, and what you help them with, right? And what that will do, and make sure the couple of posts that you have initially are doing that positioning, like they're showing you as someone else, like they're not like gonna be pitched instantly, or like you're actually someone who can actually give them value. All humans want, they do anything for two reasons: is getting away from pain and going towards pleasure, right? It happens with addictions, like addictions as in you don't find you find the situation that you're in, the current moment that you're in, painful, so you want to look after the next moment being a bit more pleasurable by doing that addictive act that you want to do, right? There's hell, there's heaven, right? So it's just like pain, pleasure, right? So how are you going to get your niche from their pain to their pleasure, right? So you need to have that clearly displayed on your profile. And then what you want to do is have a value post on your Instagram feed, and boost that. There's an option to boost on Instagram. What that will do is it'll bring in traffic that's a bit like qualified, as in they will start liking and following you and your um, posts, right? And they will follow your profile, and what that will do is tell you, okay, these people are kind of qualified, as in they have some sort of interest, that's why they followed me. Not all, but like majority will be that, right? So you start messaging them, you use a cold DM script, as in you start with a question, right? You lead with a question, then a couple of one or two relationship building questions, ask them their goal according to what the desire is that you're offering, right? They tell you, then give them free value, then give them a soft pitch, right? And then they accept, and then you actually get them on a call, right? That makes sense, right? It's a very simple process, but it's what I'm trying to say is a numbers game, and you have to follow it religiously, right? Now, what I want you to do is when you come on the call, I want you to ask me as many questions as you can, like with this and how you can apply it to your offer and how to actually get started. Now, another twist that we use is something called hypnotherapy, right? Now, if you think to yourself, you wanted to get up right now and go to your kitchen, you wouldn't think to yourself, okay, I'm gonna lift my right foot forward, then my left foot back, then my right foot. No, you just give it the intention. Now your subconscious, and I'm not talking about woo-woo stuff right now. This is literally what your subconscious does. Is it notices patterns that are happening with your conscious decisions, and it just takes like as a situational trigger, as in kitchen, and it just starts to automatically do the actions. Now, what happens is there's something called the reticular activating system in your brain, which is basically in charge of finding the thoughts that you get from thousands of thoughts that you get every single day, the most important ones. And the way it does that is if you attach an emotion to a particular thought, right? And then it starts to look for proofs in your physical world. Once it looks for enough proofs, right, then it makes it your self-image, your identity. Now, your brain is like a thermostat. Like it doesn't matter how much you try and change it with your conscious decisions, and you wanted to get to 20K per month, it's always going to bring you back. You're going to start to self-sabotage. Have you felt like you know exactly what to do, you know how to get there, but you just can't get it to happen? Something, one thing or another happens, right, that stops you and keeps you in the same place, right? And other people just seem to keep just attracting things to them. And I'm not talking about law of attraction here or anything. It's just like subconscious self-sabotage that keeps people in the same place. So I took a different twist. I was thinking to myself, you know those things that you've seen in cartoons and stuff, where the guy hangs a watch in front of you and then puts you in a trance and then turns you into a duck, right? But I thought to myself, is that real? Number one, searched out, yes, it is real, right? Second, can you use it to make someone highly focused on their goals? And turns out, yes, there's something called hypnotherapy, right? Where you need to be very careful with what sort of scripts that you uh, listen to with hypnotherapy and who you actually ask to do hypnotherapy. But it essentially is basically guiding you to the last stage just before sleep, giving you suggestions according to the way you think, your beliefs, right? To really highly target you towards your goal of, let's say, potentially 20K per month, and make sure that you're not doing any sort of self-sabotage. Now you might be thinking, hey, I don't do any sort of self-sabotage, but the thing is, it's subconscious. If it was conscious, you would you would stop. Then it's just how humans will operate. Like, you can't possibly like notice everything with your conscious attention, or otherwise you lose your mind, right? Just think of yourself, like if you were to just look at the wall right now in front of you, would you be able to think nothing for the next 10 minutes? No, you start going into your thoughts and heads. That's how humans operate. It's just like simple. So what we need to do is just a recap, right? Step number one is understand your expectations, how much time you actually want to give. Have a cold and like fully optimized offer with a clear point A, point B. Then decide, like, according to your expectations and your offer, what is the best marketing channel for yourself, and that can be scalable and easy to do. Like, it's not fully reliant on you putting in those actions. You can automate that and delegate that very easily, right? Then would be actually hitting those numbers, right? And hitting those numbers and tracking constantly, and until you actually get there. That's essentially what we actually do for people, make the process very smooth. And that's what gives us the confidence to actually guarantee that we will actually get you to 20-50K per month just by using these simple steps, right? Because we're monitoring and tracking every single day, keeping check with you every single day, like daily accountability, to see if we're moving forward, right? And then we're constantly tweaking and tweaking until we actually find the perfect fit for you to just add in volume and scale to whatever your goal is, right? So if this makes sense, just make sure you made notes and ask me questions on the call to make use of the call, please. But yeah, I'm excited to see you on the call. It will be either me or one of my coaches taking the call. So looking forward.